An African family has shocked everyone because of its unique physical appearance. Many years ago, an African dwarf man fell in love with an average-height African woman. Marriage seemed impossible because the woman's friends and family tried to discourage her from marrying the dwarf man. She had two options. Either she had to leave her friends and family, or the dwarf man she wanted to marry. Well, interestingly, she decided to start a new life by marrying the dwarf man, starting a family. However, she did not know that her family won't be quite different from her husband. 5 out of their 6 children were born with dwarfism, but that was not a problem for her. So, how does this dwarf family live? And what is their routine lifestyle? How do they spend their time? And what do they do to make ends meet? Welcome to a new episode of Black Afric Diary, a channel where we talk about Black African history, culture, arts, and civilization. It's a place where you will see the real picture of Black Africa, its stories, and the events defining it. In this episode, we will tell you about the shocking story of an African dwarf family, where the father and 5 out of 6 children have a height of only a few inches. Let's get started. This is the story of a family of 8 members, 6 of whom were born with dwarfism, a medical condition where individuals have a significantly shorter stature compared to the average for adults. This condition is often the result of genetic factors or underlying medical conditions that impact bone growth and development. Those affected by dwarfism may exhibit either proportional or disproportionate body proportions when compared to individuals of typical height. Even if this family faces difficulty due to shorter height, they radiate happiness, forming a tightly knit unit where smiles adorn the faces of their children as they engage in various activities together. Within this family, we meet Mumararungu Lilian, their eldest at 18 years old, but with height that is many times shorter than the average height. The youngest in the family is Kevin Uwazi, who is 4 years old and the only child born without dwarfism. He and the mother of the family are the 2 out of 8 members who have normal heights. Now, even if the family is living happily and doing everything together, they cannot forget the past, which was full of difficulties even before the children were born. Marrying someone with dwarfism was a challenge for Mukamanzi Adeline. Adeline, a normal and attractive woman with no physical impairments, stands in contrast to her husband, Mudahiranwa Celestin, who has dwarfism. Adeline's journey began as a shy and passive individual with little inclination towards marriage, until Celestin entered her life and proposed. Their union brought forth 6 children, but was not without its sacrifices, including Adeline's need to distance herself from family and friends who opposed her decision to marry Celestin. In Africa, like almost every part of the world, husbands are expected to provide for the family. However, in Celestin's case, it became highly difficult because of his short height. Nobody was ready to offer him any job, making it quite hard for him to adjust in society and think about his family. But despite this, he proposed, and Adeline did not pay attention to his short height. She herself decided to do everything for her family, no matter how much she had to work. However, it becomes hard to understand why Adeline decided to marry Celestin, going against her family's wishes. Interestingly, Celestin initially wanted to marry Adeline's older sister, but shifted focus to Adeline after facing rejection. He was drawn to her femininity and submissiveness, persisting in his pursuit despite initial defeat. Ultimately, their bond deepened, with Celestin winning Adeline's heart. Yet this was not easy for Celestin at first. Adeline kept her distance from the man, concerned that he might have ulterior motives stemming from her sister's betrayal. Despite receiving numerous marriage proposals from other suitors, she had never considered marrying him. However, he persisted, convinced she was the only one who could endure life with him. His tireless determination made an impression on her, gradually making her envision a future together. Initially, Adeline saw their relationship as mere friendship since they were neighbors. But his consistent efforts to win her over became apparent as he actively engaged in her life. His dedication eventually led him to propose, a gesture she initially turned down. Yet he persisted, continuously expressing his genuine love for her. Moved by his affection, she eventually agreed to marry him. However, Adeline's decision was met with complications, particularly from her family. They expressed concerns about her marrying a man with dwarfism, fearing the possibility of their children inheriting the condition. Despite their disapproval, Adeline remained committed to her husband, Before we continue further, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black Africa. Let's continue now. Her family's opposition grew stronger, with her aunts even trying to find other suitors for her. Nonetheless, Adeline stood firm, finding comfort and love in her relationship with Celestin. Despite the challenges they faced, she valued his character over his physical condition, finding joy in their bond. Marrying Celestin meant embracing a life of simplicity and contentment for Adeline, knowing their love would see them through any difficulties. Despite encountering opposition from her family and friends, this brave woman made the courageous decision to marry a man who, at the time, lacked a stable job and substantial assets. However, their journey together was marked by challenges right from the outset. In the early days of their marriage, they faced significant struggles, particularly regarding financial stability. With her husband unable to work due to his physical condition, the responsibility of providing for the family fell on the wife's shoulders. Assuming the role of sole breadwinner, Adeline struggled to secure a livelihood, taking on any available work she could find. Despite her relentless efforts, the meager earnings she brought home were barely sufficient to meet the basic needs of their growing family. Their situation became even more precarious when she became pregnant with their first child. Forced to cease working due to her pregnancy, the couple faced additional challenges due to the loss of her income. While the arrival of their first child initially brought them joy amidst their struggles, their happiness was short-lived. They received unexpected news from doctors that their newborn daughter shared the same genetic condition as her father, dwarfism. This revelation added a new layer of complexity to their lives as they grappled with the emotional and financial implications of raising a child with special needs. At the same time, Celestin started thinking about why Adeline's family did not want her to marry him. He now knew they were right. However, nothing could be done, so Celestin and Adeline accepted their fate and decided to support each other, no matter what. Over time, the couple welcomed 5 more children, all born with dwarfism, further strengthening their sense of responsibility and dedication to their family. However, their greatest challenge arose with the birth of their last child, who did not inherit the genetic condition, a stark contrast to their other children. This unforeseen circumstance sparked speculation and gossip within their community, causing turmoil within their marriage as doubts about the child's paternity surfaced. Celestin started to have doubts. He thought that if all of the first 5 children were born with dwarfism, the 6th one needed to be a dwarf as well. Because he did not know how genes worked and there were equal chances for their children to be dwarf and normal, he began to be overwhelmed by suspicion and mistrust. Unfortunately, anger made him ignore her wife's consistent loyalty and dedication, and he began to mistreat Adeline, accusing her of infidelity and questioning the legitimacy of their child. These baseless allegations deeply wounded the wife, leaving her heartbroken and emotionally shattered. Despite her anguish, she remained determined in her commitment to their family, enduring hardships and sacrifices for the sake of their children. Adeline also decided to prove her purity by taking Celestin to medical experts who could explain the situation. Despite being a dwarf, the doctor's assurance that he could father a healthy child brought immense relief. While their home was often filled with familial joy, concerns about their future lingered, particularly regarding housing and financial stability. Celestin's focus shifted to providing a secure home for their family, especially given his wife's reduced ability to work due to physical limitations. However, achieving this goal remained elusive due to financial constraints. Despite his pride in his children's academic accomplishments, Celestin grapples with uncertainty surrounding their education. The inability to afford school fees poses a significant threat to their future prospects. Additionally, he hopes his wife could transition into a business venture, acknowledging her work ethic while considering the physical limitations imposed by age. But luckily, things have started to be good for the family. As more people came to know about this family, they offered support and love. The family received vital support from volunteers and caring individuals, creating a heartwarming atmosphere filled with tears of joy and radiant smiles. Thanks to their generosity, all the children were able to resume their education with their needs fully met. Looking back, the family recounted the challenges endured over the 6 years their children attended school. Delays in school openings and struggles to procure necessary supplies were common, requiring immense sacrifices such as grazing land to earn money for fees. However, The outpouring of support transformed their situation, ensuring their children's education and improving their living conditions. The blessings continued to flow, with community support enabling the family to acquire cows, providing a sustainable source of nutrition essential for their children's growth. Additionally, Celestine found employment, receiving a modest, reliable salary every month. A local company offered employment to the family's patriarch, a gesture that left them deeply touched and grateful beyond words. Now, the family lives happily as they have a source of income and food they can rely on. What do you think? Should the world remember this family just for its short height? Isn't the life of this family wholesome and full of love? In the comment section right below, share your thoughts on whether you would like to meet this family and spend a day with them. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We bring videos on Black Africa, its history, rich arts and culture, and things the world should know about. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.